Hey, what's up, y'all? This is Rom coming back at you with yet another car video. Yeah, y'all. Too many men lie to themselves about their standing with women. Notice I said lie to themselves, because let's be real, men been lying on their dicks since time immemorial. That's why if a dude say he been with 100 women, I cut that in half again. So they say 100 to me, I'm like 25. Okay. All right. That's still high. Hell, they probably might be lying about that. But that's just part of the game. I don't worry about it because it ain't costing me any money for people to say what's up. Even a lot of people, what they comment on the comments, even some people who might be faithful commenters. Oh, dude, I already know what's up. But you know what? Like I said, it's not costing me anything. Yeah, there was one time I had to call this dude out. Because I already knew he was like just capping just in general. And I called him out about something he said to me because I wasn't in the mood for it. And dude apologized, but then all of a sudden he said, well, he had to work on something. He had some family something, and then didn't see him no more. But he's still around. He just don't comment on my stuff because he commented on somebody else's channel. And I recognized the comment when he first made it. And I was like, oh, he just changed his name. If you listed, dude, trust me. I've seen the comments you made on Cousin T-Tall's stuff. Yeah, your name's still on there, bruh. Anyway, right? Yeah, but when I talk about standing, like you get a lot of guys. Okay, like I talked about that video yesterday, how to tell if either you or somebody you know is really selecting. I specifically said, okay, put them in a group of women. Seriously, anybody. Put anybody in a group of women. You could put me in a group. If you got an event, a bunch of women, invite me. Invite me. And see how I roll. Just invite me. Because I say people can cap otherwise, even with pictures and stuff. But you put them in a crowd, see what they do. And of course, you know, people can't really take that. They come up with a whole bunch of other stuff. But you're going to get some attention regardless. If you're on that level. But let's just talk about people, men just lying about their real standing. Either thinking they select, if you don't like that term, 20%, if you don't like that term, alpha, whatever. In fact, let me shout out Mr. Lucario. Because sometimes I'll listen to some shows he do, some call-ins. It cracks me up how some guys be calling in acting like they player, and Lucario and the crew don't play around. They call him out right there. But you listening to him, you like, well, if you such a player, you getting all these women, why you asking all these questions? You know? And any real player recognize game anyway, even if you try to be quiet. Act low key. You can say, nah, I don't really mess with some women. And they'll call you out on it. They say, bro, come on, stop. We see what's up. We know you be getting down. All right? We already know. So, you know, you gotta really it happens. But it actually hurts guys doing that, because the problem is not so much even lying to yourself, but believing your own lie. Because what'll happen is this: you'll be telling yourself that lie so much you'll believe it, and it don't make anything better, because whatever you got going on, you think that's impressing the women, and it's not. Because no matter what you think about yourself, if you're talking about getting women, they got to agree with it. I don't care how handsome you think you are, how sexy you might think you are, how smooth you think you are. If you're trying to get another person, you're going to they might not agree with you, because they the ones got to judge you. You could think, yeah, you can have good feelings about yourself. That's a good thing to have good feelings about yourself. But you also got to deal with reality. You got to deal with reality when it involves other people. Now, if you good about your personal skills, like you real good, you got a skill or something, you develop that skill, okay, that's you. That's only dealing with you. And yeah, you want to feel good about yourself in general, but if you're talking about, well, what you can do to get a woman, the woman got to agree. The woman got to agree. Like, you got a lot of guys, like I got that handsome man video, don't try too hard if you handsome video, it's still getting comments. And this is the second run for it. I ain't re-uploaded anything. Somebody found it and shared it. But here's the thing. Regardless of how you think you are, the woman got to think you're handsome. And shoot, you can still get 90 women who think you're handsome out of 100, and the other 10 are like, ugh. It happens. That's why I always say it's never objective. You know? It's never objective. Because objective is objective. 1 + 1 is always 2. You can't argue about it. If there's an argument, it's not objective. Like a legitimate argument. And that's you. You can think whatever about yourself, but if the woman ain't agreeing, what good is it? You know? What good is it? But see, some guys will lie to them, and see, then sometimes when that'll happen, and the guy ain't really much anyway, but when the woman's not acting like she's seeing the same thing, or she ain't feeling the same thing, because the woman still got to make a choice however you look at choice. You know, they think something wrong with the woman. It's like, no, she just ain't feeling. Now, a smart guy just moves on. But see, if a guy is getting this from multiple women, like I said, if you get 20 women who reject you, the only thing they had in common was you got to look at yourself. But see, a lot of guys lie and everything. They get frustrated. They think something's up. And it's hurting them in the long run, because then they're not improving. They not doing some work. You know, like this Tantra master said, I shout him out, Shatam Nidiyama. He said a woman will tell you what your progress is like as soon as you step out the door. And it just is what it is. Because remember, I don't care what you got, somebody else has to feel it. I could talk about, like, you get people talk about their products. Okay, like my book, Nice Guys and Players. I can shout it to the moon. That is such a great book. I was like, yeah, this is a great book. This is the best thing you need. The people who buy it still got to be able to apply the information. I don't care what I think about it. Just know that whenever you're dealing with another person, remember, you still got to deal with their perception of you. Good or bad. You still got to deal with it, because if you trying to look at it like this. If you trying to sell somebody something, let's take women out. If you trying to sell them a car, clothes, food, whatever, they still gotta want it. You could talk it's great. Like, you could be trying to sell them some buffalo wings. You got a recipe for it and everything, right? If they take a bite out of one, you give them a sample, they're like, ugh. You could say it's great all you want. And you could say, yeah, I'm the best cook, but if they ain't feeling it, they just ain't feeling it. That's just a reality. Now, you still want to work to be your best anyway. Let me be clear with that. You want to work to be your best when whatever you do. Outside women, you want to work to be your best with women, with your job, with your profession, with your mission. You want to work to be the best human being. But hell, if you're trying to convince another person to do anything with you, they got to feel so. Like, let's keep it with women. Let's keep it with women. You can think you the best, and you can think you the sexiest motherfucker on the planet. You can think, oh yeah, I'll tear that woman up. Yeah, you can tell her that. She still got to be aroused. She still got to be turned on by you. You know, her vagina got to still get wet, regardless of what you think. Now, when I say standing, I mean with a group of women in general. Like I always said, every man can get a woman. And here's something, I need to go over this. You can be non-select and get a woman. It ain't impossible. She just ain't going to treat you the best. Because a lot of women, because there's not enough select men to go around, they have to deal with a non-select man. If they want somebody. Some women just say, fuck it, we'll just share the select man. That's another conversation. So even when you get them, but if that's what you getting, or like say you think you the bomb, you the man, you are him, but all you catch is hell from women, like just consistent, not just one woman here and there. You know, not just one woman here and there, but just consistently, like consistently. You gotta look in the mirror. You ain't who you think you are. You're not him. And say it hurts you because then you're not doing anything to improve yourself. Because you're getting older and everything. I mean, you know, if you're in your 20s, you having that trouble, okay, you got plenty of time. Most men don't really get good with women until their 30s. And please spare me somebody come, well, I'm in my 20s, I'm good. I'm like, okay, I don't know you. Honestly, I'm not impressed by that. I'm going to tell you why, because I don't know you. Like, you know, I don't feel like it today. If you are, just nod and keep it going. Like the video and then just keep it going. Or if you don't want to like it, and you still, you know. But in general, most guys, and I do say most, ain't gonna get any good with women till their 30s. You reach your peak in your 30s. You don't really get like where you gonna be as a man fully into your 30s. In fact, I've said several times, if you pass your 30s and you still having trouble with women, I feel sorry for you. Seriously. If by then you don't know what you're gonna do. But a lot of guys, it still come down to that thing of guys just really just lying to themselves. I mean, you're not helping yourself. You're not becoming better. You're not getting older. Like I said, if you having trouble in your 20s or something, okay, you can say, well, okay, let me hit the gym. Let me get my mind right. Let me work on my mission, you know? Let me become confident. You can still work on it. But if you think, oh, okay, I'm there now and everything, you know, you're just going to keep it going. You're not going to make any changes. And it's going to get worse for you as you get older. Because there's nothing worse than an older guy who ain't did shit with his life. Seriously, you can't point to anything that he's done. There's nothing worse. It's like, okay, you lived all this time, you don't got nothing, I mean, like education, success in something to show for it, man. That's really pitiful. But the only way you can do it is to be just totally honest with where you are. Then you know what you got to work on. You know exactly what you have to work on. You know where you have to go. You know what you have to do. You know everything when you honest. Because I'll use an example. I use myself for an example. I always tell y'all the story of Body Game. Now, before I got into working out hard, I wasn't bad with the women. Oh, shit. Oh, man. I just saw this young lady I went on a date with a couple months ago. Oh, shit. And she looked over, too. Oh, shit. Oh, man, that's an interesting story. Anyway, she might watch this video. Hey, sweetie, I hope everything going well, though. I ain't gonna put up some private stuff. There's some stuff going on. But anyway, right? Anyway, a man, he really has to, if the only way he's going to change and really improve, he has to know what he's doing. Now, I was about to talk about you know, when I first got into Body Game. Now, I was pretty good. I had zero approach anxiety. Okay, got that check. You know, future's pretty good. Check. You know, from the educational background. Check. You know, so whatever level. Could dress well, check. Had everything. Except the body build. And I was pretty decent, got something. I wasn't like totally like dry or having major problems. I was actually doing better than the average guy, really. But I could still see there was some issues. So I said, okay. Once I got into body game, and ironically, that came by accident. I said, oh, okay, I'm doing even better. Hey. You know, doing even better now. I was like, okay. But there was room for improvement. And even now, even to this day, and just in general, not just for women, but just in general, I always think, okay, what can I do better? What can I do better? Because as a man, you don't stop growing. You don't stop growing. If you stop growing, it's useless. A man, or human beings in general, really need to keep growing. They need to be better than they were the day before. A man especially, we suppose we ain't get to a peak and then go down. It's get to a peak and then go beyond that. In fact, there is no peak. You know? Because as I always say, I say this a lot on my Deep Thought channel, I cannot explain quantum physics in Mandarin. So that's at least two things that I can still learn. It's still some other stuff, trust me. Shit, when I'm 81 I expect to be doing something, maybe, even if I'm doing something like this, maybe not the same way, but I expect to be doing something then that I'm not thinking about now, just something new to occupy my mind or something, you know. I guess I'm the eat. Anyway, you know, you still growing. You know, it's like an elder told me, a dear elder, a minister. Dude's in his 70s. He was like a father figure. He said, shoot, this man 77, well respected minister, he said to me, hey, he's a work in progress. See, when you think you all that, but you really, you know, the results in your life don't reflect it, you really hurting yourself. You hurting your own growth. And yeah, I'm using the example with women, standing with women, but ultimately it's just life, period. And it's all connected. It's all connected, because really, if you're successful in one area, you should be successful in all areas. You need to be thorough. And I preach that all the time. Because if you're a player, say you're a player, you're great with women. You know, I ain't telling you anything new here. Hell, you can do your own videos. But if you broke, something wrong with you. Because if you can convince a woman, if you can convince multiple women to spread her legs for you, suck your dick, multiple women, even if you tell her you got other women, then you can convince somebody to buy some type of product. You can convince somebody you can work with. You know, you can, seriously, you shouldn't be successful in one area and have trouble in another. Because the same skills, you can use them. Because all of them come down to relationships. But you know what, that gets into some deeper stuff. Let's stay with the point. Too many guys lying about themselves. See, when they lying to themselves and then they stay stuck and can't figure out, okay, how come I'm not advancing? Especially with women, because I know that's where y'all tuning in. Well, dude, you ain't him. In fact, anybody who's bought my book, Nice Guys and Players, I mentioned Jim. That ain't his real name. He's a real person. And I actually said if he came on YouTube and started talking about game and all of that, he'd blow everybody away. All respect to other people talking about it, he'd blow everybody away. I even told him that. But I'll never forget something he said. He said, if you got it and nobody want it, it means you don't got it. So if you really all that and you really like truly select, you don't have any complaints about one. And in fact, I'm gonna give the people, some of the people who will cap in my comments something. If you've given any complaints, I already know. I already know. If you've given any personal complaints, I don't give a fuck what it is. I don't give a fuck what it is. You should have a problem. Like, I give you an example, because I did those Handsome Man videos, and You can get some women intimidated by a man's looks. Some women. Leave them alone. The other ones are still going to have a problem, because usually if you really get women like that, you still going to get a woman to come for you. But if you talk about all women are intimidated by your looks, you probably don't look like all that. You lying to yourself trying to do something. Because if you handsome enough, somebody's still going to give you some. Several women going to give you some. And then the ones who ain't intimidated, the ones who are legitimately intimidated by it, you might not know some because you get with the ones who aren't. So that's how I can know. I don't even pay attention when somebody say. I listen to the complaints, and then I'm like, oh, okay. But that's how you do it. But you got to just be honest. Like I remember, I had a couple of people hit me up and say, Rom, I realize I'm a nice guy. That's great. You know why? Because then now you know what you need to work on. This is what you need to do. That's how you need to get into the transformation. You got to realize you need to transform. Because I'm going to say this. Let me just put this shit out here. Let me go hard. Y'all say y'all want life gain. If you all that means, one, let's start with the women. You getting the women you want. If you all that, not just like the attractive women, not just random women, the attractive women that you want. In fact, if you all that, you got them lined up. Now, that's just with the women. If you all that, you also don't have to worry about money. You also in the type of job that you want. You also in the type of job you want, business you want, whatever dream. If you all that means you just at the top. You can't point to anything and say, okay, I need to do this. You living where you want to live. You bringing in the money you want to live. You have the friends you want to have. Everything. There's nothing like everything. If you got a complaint in any area of your life, you ain't all that. And that's all of us. All of us got something to build on. All of us. Because I told you, I have no problem saying I'm a work in progress. I ain't at the top of shit. Maybe better in some areas than some people, but not as good in some other areas. So that means I got something to learn. I cannot explain quantum physics in Mandarin. I have no problem admitting that. Everybody has to admit that. Everybody has to admit that. Just in life, period. You got something you got to work on. Because if you try to come on here and say you all that, I'm going to be like, oh, okay. So you got that big old house you want. You live in the best neighborhood. You drive the best vehicle. And don't come at me like, well, I don't really want to live there. No, fuck that shit. Anybody with some sense want to drive at least a car that it's not going to give them too much trouble. Everybody wants to live in the most peaceful area. Your relationships are just totally, whether you monogamous, even some people try to say, well, monogamous, okay. Well, okay, fine. Is that relationship good? You know? If you got kids, you the perfect father? Perfect father, like no problem. Your children ain't showing any behavioral issues, anything. If you ain't living a perfect life, then you got something to work on. Now, are we all going to make that? Probably not, but you still got the goal of doing the best. That's the bottom line. You still got the goal of doing the best you can for your life. And if you got anything, I don't care what it is, anything that could be better, that means you got work. Anything. And if you say everything perfect, or you even come on here try to jokingly say it, I will block you. Because I already know you capping. Fuck all that shit. Because, hold up, if you all that, then people should know about you. You ain't living some low-key shit. Other people gonna promote you. You be telling other people how to do like you did. No, seriously. Not even for fame or anything. You just trying to help other people. Now, yeah, you can be pretty, you can be content with your life. Content. But if you got anything that could be better, that means your body's perfect. Like, I talk body game, but your body's perfect. It's where you want to be. Your nose, face, everything where you want it. Because I know as soon as somebody say, well, I could lose some weight, I could put on some weight, or, I'm, I ain't as muscular as I want to be, I ain't as slim as I want to be, I ain't as tall as I want to be. Well, you got something to work on then, because then you got to work on your mental side. You're not comfortable with it, so that's something you got to work on. You got to work on that. That's something. We all got something. If you on this planet, you got something to work on. If your ass don't walk on water, even if you don't follow the Christian path, if your ass don't walk on water, you got something to work on. If you ain't the most intelligent motherfucker on the planet, you got something to work on. Or have the most knowledge, you got something to work on. Everybody got something to work on. When you ain't honest with yourself and where you stand with women, or just in life, period, then you ain't gonna do the work to improve yourself. You're gonna think. In fact, I've had some people say, yeah, well, you just need this or that. Yeah, you got something to improve on. You're not perfect. It's something. I don't care who you are. Like I said, I tell people straight up, nah, I'm a work in progress. I don't expect to reach it in this lifetime. Maybe 15 lifetimes in the future or something. Maybe. But otherwise, please. And that's the thing, though. You don't want to hurt yourself ultimately. Because like I said, let's get back to, I'm about to end this, but let's get back to what I was talking about. Guys lying to themselves about their standing with women. Look, you don't want to hurt yourself. You hurting yourself. Because you can say you all that, but if you about to go crazy because you ain't seen no parts of the pussy in 2 years, that's hurting you. That's not hurting anybody else. That's not hurting the fellas you lying to, talking about, yeah, I'm play. That's not hurting them. That's not hurting them at all. That's not hurting them. Or shit, that's not hurting them. It ain't hurting the women. You can try to say whatever, it ain't hurting them. Because they don't have to know you. You're hurting yourself. So when you go through life, and I said in another video, your first relationship, your main relationship is with yourself anyway. You need to at least be honest with yourself, regardless of what you tell the outside world. Be honest with yourself, and then work on yourself to become the best version of yourself. All right? So anyway, have a good week. Really think about what I'm saying, man, because like I said, I started off talking about the thing with women, but just life period, man. Life period. So anyway, I'll get back with y'all next week on a car video. Of course, it's Sovereign Saturday tomorrow, but I already recorded that. I'm chilling the rest of the day. Anyway, I'll talk to y'all. Peace and blessings.